So today, I'm going to be installing this new wheel from Carbon Miata onto my 2017 RF Miata. Basically, I'm going to be doing taking off the stock wheel here. Of course, first step is going to be to disable the battery, taking off the positive or negative terminal, we'll do that. And second step will be removing the actual airbag here by 3 pins that are located there. And I'll show that work better on the workbench. All right, so let's get started on this thing. So the first step was we'll be taking off the cover. Basically, there are 2 screws Phillips had located here in front of the blow. I've already taken those off. So the next step, I'll pull back the wheel adjustment lever and kind of just give that a tug. There's just a couple clips holding the top and the bottom together. Nothing to the actual steering column, so that's off. This next part of removing the airbag, but I think by far is probably the trickiest part, because the videos I was watching on just how to do this really wasn't able to show just how it's done. But basically, there's these 3 little access holes on each of the spokes here that if you stick a flat needle screwdriver into, there's access pins that when pulled back will allow you to unsnap the clipping that holds it in there. So I was actually able to get one in, and if you shine a light or your cell phone light into it, you can see the pin. I was just going blindly at it, was not able to get anything off camera, so let me attempt to get the next 2, and we'll see how this comes out. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to get my light on. Yeah, the bottom one here. I see if I stick it directly into the bottom, going upward towards the top of the wheel is where this next pin is, and it should simply pop out. Yeah. Oh, I see it in there too. Yeah, see? That just pops right out. Let's pull this closer over here so maybe we can see what we're doing. All right, so now I have a closer view. I've gotten the second pin. I don't know if you're able to see. Bottom hole here, on this side, bottom in the direct center, and then the last one is right on the left side of the wheel. And of course, you turn the wheel as needed. And yeah, see the next pin now. Kinda. There it is. So that wasn't too bad. Once those 3 are done, you see those 3 springs here this pop loose from. We're going to be removing, the blue here. Like I said, you've already deactivated your battery. You don't want to play around with any of that shit. Or have this going off and risking injury.
Black wheel, please. Now I'm going to come up before the connector can be disconnected.
We're going to go ahead and get these next 2 little clips on the bottom that have to be popped up in order for it to be disconnected. And yeah. Also, if you got a little pick, that'll be easier to go at it than using a flathead screwdriver. Probably didn't need to take it off like that. I'm just an idiot. Once these blacks are up, you can just take this off. So, as I was speaking before, going in through those access holes, basically what you're doing is pushing these in and allowing the 3 mounts to pop out, these little spring mounts. So you're just pushing these in, and that's what you're doing with that. There, your bag's out. All right, so on to the next step. Basically, you're gonna have a 21mm socket to break loose this nut here. But first, important step that I actually skipped a little bit of is just taking some tape or a pen or something and making sure that your wheel is on straight, and you're going to be putting the new one back on in the same location as you have taken this off. I think that is a fairly important step. And since you're going to be taking off this back bezel here and putting it onto your new carbon Miata wheel, this tape should be able to be a good marker for keeping this in place. Now, just put that on there. Make sure it's nice and stuck. If you don't do this, it won't be too hard to tell if your wheel is off, but you'll have to redo all these steps again. That won't be any of the fun. So I believe that's in place now. Got this in play. And of course, my tape did not stick. That sounds about right, but we'll see how this goes, because I feel like some more force is going to be involved with taking off this wheel. That actually came off really easily. I thought I was going to be fighting this thing. Tape in place, I'm going to put the nut back on just a few threads, because taking this off, I don't want to rip any of the wires here. I believe I also need to take that up as well. That sounds about right. Really not too afraid of that, but so basically with this, you should be able to just give it a few rocks. Now, I've replaced quite a few steering wheels on NA and NB Miatas in the past. Haven't done NB before, but basically, I feel like you just give it a few knocks in rocking motion, and it comes right off. That was it quick. So like I said, keep the nut on so you don't rip any wires off. I always love doing that with the original wheels there, but slides right off. Keep that in place as well. Yeah, nice bearing inside there as well. Alright, on to the next step. As far as the clock spring goes, this is what originally helps your turn signals turn back off. There's only one way this can go back on, is within these two holes. So, like I said, on to the next step. Okay, now with the steering wheel off, we're going to start removing all the different plastic pieces of the wheel. We're going to start with the silver ring here. Here, this is a bit tedious with the ND Miatas, but well, I'm going to give it a shot and see how we do. You can basically start with the two front tabs here, and there are 3 tabs on the bottom. I believe you'll get by pressing there, but I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a go. You can either use your hands, or I also have some trim tools as well that will help you with this. But let's give this thing a shot. I'm going to try with the trim tool. Just be sure not to scratch the wheel at all. Oh, that actually came off really easily. Let's try and do it towards the camera. That one is about off as well. Alright. Not too bad. And I'm going to try for the bottom pieces. Now, I also am going to scratch up the leather on my wheel, so that wouldn't be any fun. And let me go at this bottom piece here. Got one off it. I felt something. Oh yeah. Alright, so they weren't really the same sort of tabs. They're more like pins, and they're in rubber. Not bad. So basically, this wasn't metal, it's still plastic. All these little tabs here were basically stuck in some, I guess, galvanized rubber. And they just come right on out. Alright, the next step will be removing the black plastic piece. And it's all held in place, similar to the front ring here, just with those tabs and the rubber. So you put nice, firm pressure all around. Give that sucker a go. Also, yes, a lot sharper on the front side. Get this in here. Try a bit in there. Don't want to do too much. I see it starting to bend it. Alright, one side's out. Next side's out. This side just wants to come on its own. Perfect, yeah, same bit there. Just had those little push pins that go straight into the rubber there. Looks like it'll go in the same way on the new wheel. So the next step here is we'll be taking off the buttons, and they're same way, pressed into the rubber. Except with these, you can actually see the little tabs that are in there. So if you want to, you can give it a little pressure with a screwdriver or something, you can get those as well, but I'm just gonna try wiggling it. But you don't want to put in the wrong spot, or you risk breaking them. Break your buttons. Okay, so I think I will take a screwdriver and go at it with that front one there. Yeah, don't do that. I see a little indent I just left. Oh, well, it did work, so. Yeah, it just wiggles out of that rubber. Nice. Have to take off, this little tab here. Pair of pliers. I can get the wiring off the wheel. So we'll push that in. It's those little tabs I'm talking about. And then push in and through. Go at the next one. And I'll try and do it. So let's see a bit now. I need some pressure. So, again, don't want to scratch up the buttons. I'll try and put that face forward. And just give it a little bump as we go. That'll work. You can get to these from the backside. I do like that a lot better than the rest of these stupid little tabs. So far with this project, I think I've spent maybe an hour just assembling, taking all this off. This hasn't been as much of a monster as a few people have made it out to be.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Alright, I did not break anything, alright? Good. Alright, everything came out right? Perfect. Cool. So, only one last thing here is the 3 springs that hold in the airbag. And I'm going to go ahead and just take those off and put them directly onto the new wheel. This should be as easy as just pulling them off. Push down, pull up. And push down, pull out. Fair enough. I'm good at pulling out. Alright, so push down, pull out. And by pull out, I mean like this little hook here. I'll push this down and push it outward. You know, just jacked up. Putting that onto the new wheel. Easy peasy. So, reassembling this should be as easy as you took it off. That's all back on, and we'll start the assembly of the switches as soon as I change my camera battery, because it is about. So with those springs in place, let's go ahead and put everything back together, same way we took it back out. This should be pretty simple. Because I already struggled with the first piece. Yeah, it just squeezes right into the new rubber. Super easy. Put those plastic pins back in. Honestly, I'll probably just fast forward this part, but we'll see. Dang. Overall, this was going to look so good. Alright, putting on the back section here. Easy, easy, easy. It just slips right on. just like that, everything's back on. Right, put the wheel back on. Yeah, that really did turn out nice. Look at this thing. Alright, let's put back in the car. So let's get all this back in place. We'll go ahead and feed the wires through. There's the first step here. And then we're going to be plugging in the white wire into the clock spring there. There's the clock spring fits in there. Line up the tape. Make sure that horse is lined up just right. Yeah, that slipped right in. Just right. Sure. Yeah. Oh man, that looks so good. Alright. Let's finish this sucker, shall we? With that in place, we're going to put the nut back on. And the torque spec for this nut, I believe, is 35 or 36 foot-pounds of torque. So I am going to have to get my torque wrench out, but that goes back up. Torque wrench is on. Go ahead and set that. And make sure you're going the right way with it, because you're smarter than I am, of course. I'll do it. Okay. So the blue one goes in this little pin here. Had a second weakness. That's torqued down. Go ahead and put the blue wire onto the side piece here. Okay. I imagine it's probably bored. Plugging in the yellow and the orange. They do only go in one direction. So it should be easy enough to figure out which way they go. Yep. Place the two black pins on there. Make sure I don't so spun around. Comes in. Alright, and there's only one way this goes back in. Just like that. And that's an installed wheel. I mean, seriously, look at that sucker. So, to recap, I believe I did make one small mistake, is I did not have to take off the covers for the front and the bottom. So used to doing that for the Miata. It would have been easier to not have to do that. Also, to recap, this wheel is gorgeous. No, this looks good. I cannot wait to go for a drive and try this out. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and reconnect the battery now, put the bezels back on, and enjoy this new wheel. So, yeah, this video is hopefully going to be a lot better quality than my last one. I was filming the last one with just my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and the image quality was just blown out. I actually have my Alpha 7 III or so from Sony, and I mean, I've just used it for photos. I figured I'd give it a shot here with a tripod and doing some video work. Hopefully this turns out better and the audio's great. Otherwise, I'll try and get a mic. But what do you want to see next? Always the question of the day. You know, this is my 2017 NDRF. I have so many more plans for this. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out Carbon Miata. They make this great wheel. Until next time.